Hello everyone. As you might imagine, I was a teensy bit disappointed with the outcome of that cheese and onion pie using the Atura suet. So I thought I'll have a go at something a little bit different. Principles are kind of the same, but using a slightly different mixture of said suet and flour, maybe the water too. We'll see how it turns out. Now, before we even think about the pastry, we're going to start stewing the middle bit. So I'm basically cutting up some stewing steak into about a pint of drinking water with a stock cube. So I shouldn't need to add any more salt or any other gubbins to it. And let's get that going. Anyway, so you see what's happening there. That's just coming neatly to the boil. I shall turn it down a little bit, allow it just to simmer. It doesn't need to boil vigorously. And we'll time it on the big time. It should need about an hour. But we'll come out after about 30 minutes and start messing about with the other bits and bobs. Next, let me introduce you to some proper dried peas. I also picked these up in Britain. The Bachelor's bigger dried peas selected marrowfats, no less. So I've had these soaking overnight in some drinking water with one of these calcium carbonate tablets. There's one more left for the rest of the pack for me to use another time. Now I'm not taking any chances with these. I'm following the instructions on the box to the letter. The water I soaked them in last night had to be boiled, and also the fresh water you add to the peas must also be hot or boiling. I've never done it like this before. I always use cold water, but we'll see if it produces any better results. Next thing is we'll add a bit of chopped onion into the meat. That lasts 20 minutes or so to let the onion soften up a wee bit. We've got one more thing to do to the meat, by the way. So we'll just bring that back to the boil, and then we'll get faffing about with the pastry, I suppose. This time I've let the suet melt a little bit. See, it's still very granular, but I've got a little plan. I'm going to squash all that up, try and break up the granules to the best of my ability. I've left a little bit there because we might try that another time. So, as melted as I would wish, but we can get it going. Feels a bit better than last time, so that's promising. Right, I'll keep doing that, and then I shall add some flour. This time I've added a little bit more flour. I'm going to add a little less water than I did. Made it a bit gluey, I think, last time, so let's try that. And we'll just use trial and error. So, just as the meat's finished stewing almost, I'm going to add some of this. You can see it says gluten-free corn flour. It's much better than the regular flour for thickening something up because it doesn't go lumpy. So hopefully this will work. We'll see. Just as the timer is about to go off, we'll add the corn flour and water. See, there it is. Okay, thank you. Oh boy. Okay, so let's just tip that in without worrying too much about the tools of the trade. Stir around. Right, it's still boiling. It doesn't need to turn to glue or anything, just to thicken it up a little bit. There we go. Still getting a bit pale. Thickening up nicely though. So I'm going to add some of this fake Worcester sauce to it. I didn't bring the Ian Perrins back with me, and I haven't seen it here for absolutely ages, so let's do that and see if that has any effect on it. Thank you. hasn't done any harm anyway, that's for sure. It'll probably help the flavour along a bit. Okay, I've shoveled out the stew bit into a allegedly fireproof ceramic dish. The next step, I'm going to do this on camera, I don't care. I'm not going to do a pastry top, I'm going to try and do something along the lines of dumplings. I don't know if they'll work out or not. Can't be any worse than last time, but that remains to be seen. Must remember to use a cloth around my hands to put the dish back in the oven. Alright, anyway, you get the idea of that, so I'm going to do that. I might be able to spread it across the top. It's actually looking quite a bit more like what it should do when I've used suet in the past. But anyway, so that's going to go in. I'm going to turn the peas up a little bit. And let's see, on this occasion, I've set the timer for, well, when we focus in, you'll see, hopefully, for 20 minutes. So we shall see what we shall see. Little trick to stop the peas from boiling over. I think I've used this before. A bit of black pepper over it, which I used to flavour the peas anyway. Yeah, that kind of works, doesn't it? Okay, let's get the other thing in the oven. I'm not going to show you putting this in the oven because it will involve a lot of cursing and effing and blinding. So I'm talking about this, by the way. Alright, let's see what happens. Don't worry, I noticed that I'd set the big time for 20 hours because I'm a bloody idiot. But I reset it for 20 minutes, so just over halfway through there, and we'll just check on the peas. Mushing up quite nicely, so we'll turn those down for a bit. Not sure if the dumplings might need a little bit longer. Let's head down to number 2, and there we go. And we'll let the water boil away a bit more in those, so we get actually something like a really mushy pea. Don't know if you can hear that little whistling sound. The peas are singing, which means that the water's boiling away and they're just about ready. Oh, there goes the timer, so now I have to just rescue everything out of the oven. Let's see how that works. Well, the dumplings don't look terrible, but we'll have to see. I'll just let it cool down a moment and I'll try and dish some of it up with the side order of peas. Well, I have to say, it looks a little bit desperate, but please trust me when I say that it smells really nice. So, again, as usual, I'm going to surround this lot and get back to you with the wrap up. Okay. Well, I have to say that it wasn't perfect, the outcome, but the dumplings looked a bit like dumplings and they tasted very nice. It tasted a bit better than the pastry on the pie that I did. And I have a little bit more suet left, so perhaps in a week or two I'll try something else with that. And we'll see how that pans out. Oh dear, I can't believe I just said that. Anyway, I hope wherever you are, you're having a lovely Sunday, and I'll be in touch with you with some other desecration of YouTube quite soon, I hope. In the meantime, have fun. Bye bye.